Hi there, it's Darlene. I hope you're having a good one. Well, we're in for another wild ride here on the refund policy. Oh, good Lord. Will it never end? Philip has just changed that damn refund policy again. He keeps changing it. Why do you think that is? I wonder if more and more people are coming after him now for a refund. Gotta wonder, because he certainly is switching it up a lot. So, when you're on this sheet and you click on refund policy, it doesn't always take you to the same page, okay? It takes you to a web page, and everybody thinks it's the same one, and if you don't check it, you wouldn't know. I sent someone there, then said, well, go check the refund policy. And she says, well, I went to checkout, and she says, and it says that there is no refund. And I'm like, no, it doesn't say that. And then I went and checked it out, and it's like, oh my God, it does. It's changed. So the checkout pages change, the refund policies change, and you wouldn't know it unless you look at it. And the thing is, they want these changes to be retroactive. How legal do you think that is? Not so much. Let's have a look. So first of all, and this is just back in April 20th, so that's a month and 10 days ago because it's May 30th right now. And they were in Warrior Plus still then, until the end of April, I believe. Yes. And at that time they had these terms and conditions here, which I have talked about in one of my previous videos, at least probably two of them actually. that first of all, to be eligible for the 30-day conditional results-based money-back guarantee, you have to do all these steps, including number 4, where you have to request them to set up and host your funnel. And then in brackets it says, once you've filled out the form to set up, you will no longer be eligible for a refund. Great. And then right after it says, if doing all the above, if you did not see any results, no sales or leads or views, that means not even a view in Instagram, you will qualify for a refund and the $10,000 results guarantee to show you did not get any results. So again, it's just got you coming and going, and there is no refund. It was pretty funny. The other day, I was going onto Instagram, and I was going on through a completely different email address that I hardly use. And so I was just registering in as another person. And within 5 minutes of registering, I had someone follow me. Like, what? So, I mean, if I hadn't even put up anything yet, I didn't even have a picture, nothing. And all of a sudden I had a follower. So basically, there's no way, just because the way social media works, you're going to have followers, you're going to have views. You could put up nothing, and you're going to have followers and views. And now, this was the original Copecart checkout. And at the bottom, it had this box in pink, which is totally confusing, and you have to check it off in order to order it. It says, by placing your order, you agree that Copecart will commence the execution of the contract before the revocation period expires. By purchasing this product, you agree that you lose your right of withdrawal at the beginning of the contract execution. Okay. Don't forget that Copecart is a German company, and this website is in German and being translated to you. So that makes it difficult, and just their wording is going to be different. So for anybody who is from North America, that we don't really use this wording, I'm from Canada, by the way, that it'll be difficult to read. I mean, that would be difficult for anybody to read unless you had a background in legal. So I tossed it over to ChatGPT, and it spat out exactly what I thought it did. What this was saying is basically that they're going to start executing this contract as soon as you hit order now. And so as soon as you hit order now, you can't get a refund. And it says this policy seems to pertain to a revocation or withdrawal period associated with a contract. In many places, consumers have a legal right to a cooling off period. And that is too true, because in the entire European Union and in the UK, you get a 14-day cooling off period, wherein it is stipulated by law that you can cancel a purchase, like like a door-to-door salesman, or an online purchase as well, within 14 days, and you don't even have to have a reason. However, this policy you're quoting suggests that Copecart, presumably a company or service provider, yes, they are, begins the execution of the contract before this revocation period expires. This might mean, for example, that they start providing the service or delivering the product immediately after the order is placed. So they're going to say that as soon as you as soon as you place the order and your money goes through, then they're going to send you an email with a link that says, here's your product. So they're saying, they have delivered your product. So it's kind of like receiving a load of lumber. Once it's there on your lot, it's yours. So that's what they're trying to say with this as well, even if it's in direct contravention of the law in your particular jurisdiction. The second part of this policy indicates that by purchasing the product, the consumer agrees that they forfeit or lose their right of withdrawal as soon as the contract execution begins. This implies that even if the revocation period hasn't expired yet, so that 14 days that Europe and UK gets, this implies that even if the revocation period hasn't expired yet, the consumer cannot back out of the contract once the product or service delivery starts. So they can say that we have begun delivery. I mean, it's there. And they can access it anytime they want. So the first time you go into that website, bing, you've accessed it. No more return policy. But really, it is so, it is so hard to read that from that. You just come off all that hype in in that webinar and everything, and yeah, you want to go for it. And what most of us want to do is just put the check mark on there, don't bother reading it, and say order now. It's really the worst thing we can do, especially when you're playing with $2,500. And I'm saying this because I've done the same damn thing. But when you see confusing wording like that, just don't do it. But then again, they continue on with it. And so that you then have to hit this refund policy. And they will then if you ask support for refund policy like you're supposed to do, they will send you to here. They did at that time anyways. So this one had these tricky phrases in it that said, basically if they can show that you've had even one view or God forbid a follow like I got or anything, then you're not going to get a refund because you're already getting results. That was the be all and end all of this one. But I mean, at the beginning it says, and I think this is a miswording actually on the third line down going in, due to the nature of our business and the accessibility of our products, immediately upon purchase, that has always struck me as being funny that there I would say that they should have, there is no refund. But instead they screwed it up and they said, there is a generous 30 days full refund policy, which begins on the date of purchase with most of our products, with the exception of something that's not this one. And so it's completely conflicting wording. That's fraudulent. No jurisdiction allows that. If you're going to have a refund policy, it's got to be clear, okay? And this one is so totally not. Then they've now changed Copecart. Now, so say you went through this, and you didn't take a picture of this. Say you just went in later to see what the wording was, and then you come on this. And you think, oh, well, I obviously didn't remember it, so this must be the way it is. I know I've done that before. But no, as you can see, they have changed the wording. And again, you have to check off the checkbox. So now it's very clear. While most products sold in the Copecart marketplace are digital products, some are physical. Please note that the refund policy for this sale is no refund. Well, thank you finally for putting it clearly. And then it says, by checking this box, you agree that you have read the product description, refund policy, and any other information associated with this sale. But then they have to take it further, don't they? So now when you hit on that refund link at the bottom of that very first sales page, you get taken to this. And it's a 2-page bugger too. It's a long one. And what it says, again, say general and then paragraph 1, and then you got those 2 little lines, then you'll receive, and then you'll receive access to our training platform immediately after purchase, okay? So again, you're getting it right away. All digital, next paragraph, all digital and downloadable product sales are final. We do not offer digital product refunds. Once a download/digital access has been granted to you, there is nothing we can retrieve back. I might disagree with that a bit, because if you've only just, it's not like the whole course is downloadable. A lot of it is in webinars and such like that. Also, if you haven't filled out the form to get them to do your funnel, there's really nothing that you've paid for, and they can remove your access to the system at any time, and they can tell how far you've gone through it. But see, logic just doesn't pertain, because they don't want to hear about it. They're going to keep your money no matter what, and that is why all of this stupid wording. And then it starts referring to agreements. Well, in the sales video, which I've got going off to the side, it clearly shows that you're supposed to be signing an agreement. Well, you didn't have to, so there's nothing in writing, and that's the way they're keeping it, is nothing in writing that you can point back to if you're going to your bank or credit card company to get a refund. And it also says they're not subject to cancellation, refund, or a cooling off period. Right. Sorry. Please be advised that any and all agreements for downloadable digital products are not subject to cancellation, refund, or cooling off period. We do not accept any verbal modifications or anything like that. Well, excuse me, you can't do that. If a country like the UK or the entire European Union say we have a 14-day cooling off period, their laws trump this quote-unquote contract, which when you do check off the thing at checkout, you agree to that part of the contract and this as well, because you know what they're going to send to your bank is the refund policy. But which refund policy are they going to send to your bank? Is it going to be this one that flat out says you don't get a refund? Yes, it will be. Because it won't be one of the previous ones where it actually gave you hope of a refund or even a leg to stand on to argue about it. They're going to send this. So I hope you've got a copy of whatever refund policy you came in on, because this is how they're going to play it, and it's total dirty pool. And look how this continues too. First yellow bit. If any payments are not received, oh yeah, this is hilarious. This is about their monthly payment plan. It says if any payments are not received, the entire purchase is void, and the payments made up to that point are forfeited and will not be refunded. Well, heck, the previous last page just explained how the whole thing isn't refundable, so what great loss is that if you stop payments? Good grief. Next yellow part. Please note that in the case of a chargeback, all services will be immediately suspended and a lifetime ban will be enforced. Oh, thank God you're going to ban me from buying any of your products again. Well, I think that's a given. Oh, my God. So they can suspend your services at any time. So you've bought this product. Instead of just suspending you from the website and everything else, I mean, you've bought this learning. If you were to go, if they have likened themselves to a college course before, saying if you purchased the course, you didn't take it, you're not going to get a refund. Yeah, but you can still keep the textbooks. You know, all the learning materials are still yours. But no, they're going to suspend your account. And that's just standard operating procedures for these guys. Be sure to return to this policy periodically. Yeah, this bottom paragraph. This is just wicked. Be sure to return to this policy periodically to review the most current version of the policy. We reserve the right at any time at our sole discretion to change or otherwise modify this policy without prior notice. So it's up to you to be checking this in case it changes, which it did, as you can see on the bottom line, on May 19th, which was only 10 days ago, 11 days ago. And they changed it. They switched it up. And then they're saying that this is the most current version, and so it applies to everybody. No. They cannot switch up their refund policy and then make it retroactive. You come in under whatever refund you came in on. But here's the thing. How many people are going to be able to prove it? You know, if you're just relying on, well, I can always go back to that web page like I've done before as well. You know what? You can't. Well, actually, you can if you have an old link to it, because you still get that web page up, unless they rip it down now that I've said this, but it's okay. I've got copies if anybody needs it, and as usual, my contact is in the description at the bottom. Good grief. So you can always get a copy. But, and it's like, how can you remember which refund policy you came out to? Because these guys are being dishonest AF. You can't trust them because of what they're doing. Now, I did ask, again, ChatGPT about changing the terms and conditions after you've purchased something. And it says typically the terms and conditions at the times, or the refund policy, rather, after purchasing, would apply, including the refund policy. So the refund policy would apply. If a store changes its refund policy after you purchase, it usually would not apply to you retroactively. It's generally considered unfair and in some jurisdictions illegal to change the terms of an agreement after the fact without consent of both policies. And that is just standard contract law. And so I asked further, and it says many jurisdictions have consumer protection laws that can prevent businesses from changing terms and conditions, including refund policies, retroactively. And here are some examples. And it brings up the EU here, the 14-day cooling off period. And I say that, and that is still applicable. I know ChatGPT is like 2 years out of date, but I did go in and I checked for both the EU and the UK, and the 14-day cooling off period is still applicable for both places. United States and Canada and Australia don't have that cooling off wording, but the FTC in the U.S. requires businesses to abide by their stated refund policies, and if no policy is stated, a reasonable expectation of the refund is applied. So, what is the stated refund policies on those previous refund policies? I mean, the last one is pretty concise. It's not going to give a refund. But the ones prior to that? So unless you got into the program in the last 11 days, you're going to be under one of those other ones. Now, see, here's the drill. If you ask them for a refund, they immediately say, go check our refund policy. Well, before, it was sending people to that first refund policy that I showed you. Not the first one, the Royer Plus one, but the other one that was the web page. But now they're going to be sending people to the new one that says there's no refund policy. And they're going to tell people, well, we said we reserved the right to change that at any time and you need to check back. No, they can't do that. It's illegal. But you saw what they did when they tried to threaten me. They just twist the law any way they want to get whatever they want, even though it's totally wrong. And that's what Philip Johansen is doing, and that is what he learned oh so well from his mentor, Jono Armstrong. So, I hope that has helped at all to show you what kind of people these are that you're going to be dealing with. And if you've got any thought at all of getting your money back, don't, or thinking you might want that refund, don't sign up, because you're not going to get it. They're going to put you through hell, and you end up going to having to do a chargeback. Then you're going to have to prove that it's fraud, which I hope that my videos are going to be allowing you to do. So if you do find these videos at all helpful in saving money, preventing you from buying, or at least, getting your money back, maybe you could think of buying me a cup of coffee. The description, the donate link is at the top of the comments and in the description. Also, we do have a group together for refunds. Should you be interested, just get a hold of me. Telegram is in the description. So, you guys have a good day. Don't work too hard and stay out of trouble. Darlene out.